Returning to the Coin Series channel brings us joy. ASIC withdraws from $50 million debt box lawsuit following community allegations of misconduct. Both the chief tech officer and a well-known cryptocurrency attorney have publicly criticized the SEC's response to the debt box issue, claiming that the agency's actions constitute an example of overreach. False accusations are causing the case to disintegrate, and everyone involved has suffered emotionally and financially as a result. The reason behind this is that Debtbox has admitted to making deceptive representations, and the Securities and Exchange Commission recently opted to dismiss a $50 million fraud action against the company. John Dassler and other XRP lawyers have publicly criticized Gary Gensler's leadership at the SEC. To my knowledge, no company has ever had more dire need for genuine leadership than this $50 million CC modification. Concern over the decision by the Securities and Exchange Commission to withdraw charges against Debtbox has sparked widespread discussion. Many federal judges, including Judge Torres, have benefited from ASIC's services. Since of the Ripple lawsuit, the legal community is justifiably suspicious of attorneys since it has shown them to be hypocrites. This move calls into question the veracity of the SEC's claims in other cases. Deaton was perplexed after an appeals court determined that the SEC's rejection of a spot Bitcoin exchange-traded fund was capricious, concurrently with the conviction of dishonest legal professionals. According to him, the SEC was attempting to cover up their crimes in order to avoid blame. If, as Denton suggested, judges could not allow beautiful attorneys to appear in their cases, the Coinbase v. Securities and Exchange Commission case would be much more of a drama. Famous attorneys like Bill Morgan and Jeremy Hogan have spoken out against the SEC's tactics and sudden changes in strategy. They claim the government agency has been obstinate in its pursuit of a big fraud case, but has now changed its mind in response to possible bad consequences. The attorneys for XRP are evidently agitated by the rumors that the SEC is engaging in courtroom gamesmanship. Paul Grewal, chief legal officer of Coinbase, joined others in criticizing the SEC for causing difficulty before attempting to avoid it. One Ripple executive, David Schwartz, has speculated on the impact on the company's stock price and even accused the SEC of being dishonest in relation to the Debtbox issue. The related coin's market value fell by 56% even though the Securities and Exchange Commission admitted they were wrong. The fallout was immediate and catastrophic. The context is critical, but it is not all the lesson is about. Remembering that they are dealing with actual people and their means of subsistence is crucial, as John Deaton stressed, for SEC attorneys. There are more than simply rules to consider here. Quite the opposite, it is a just and sensible system. The law is only one aspect of this. Actually, people are hoping that the SEC will be fair and reasonable when dealing with Bitcoin companies. In addition to pursuing legal action, members of the public are closely monitoring the issue and calling for justice and fairness. Lawyers that are in favor of XRP, such as John Dutton, have criticized the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, and Gary John. In light of Judge Robert Shelby's show cause order and penalties for federal court lying, the SEC has chosen to drop the $50 million fraud action against Debtbox. In an effort to evade sanctions and penalties, the SEC sought to dismiss the complaint by claiming that the Bitcoin company's Debtbox had been misled into obtaining a restraining order and asset freeze. Gary Gensler, chair of the SEC, and other XRP attorneys have spoken out against the cryptocurrency. In relation to the Debtbox situation, in an admission of providing inaccurate or misleading information, the SEC John Dean, an attorney for 75,000 XRP investors, has taken aim at Gary Gensler, the current chairman of the SEC, over an incident that occurred while Gensler was in control of the agency and corporate investigations were underway. Lawyers with the SEC, he claimed, had betrayed the rule of law. Among the numerous federal courts who voiced strong criticism of the SEC, Judge Torres joined the chorus, describing SEC officials like Say Kearney as hypocrites in the aftermath. Despite those horrific facts, findings that would make any notable lawyer tremble and feel ashamed, an appellate court in the Grayscale case determined that the spot Bitcoin ETF's rejection by the Securities and Exchange Commission was arbitrary and capricious. Subsequently, the attorneys tasked with defending your organization displayed complete indifference towards the pursuit of truth and justice. Now you're trying to avoid justice while protecting your dishonest attorneys from the law they pledged to defend. Deaton, the SEC's commission ship chef, came under fire from other attorneys like Jeremy Hogan and Bill Morgan for the way he approached the case. To avoid shame and fines for what it saw as unjustified steps against cryptocurrency firms like Ripple, Nance, and Coinbase XRP, Coinbase, the SEC opted to dismiss the case against Americans who were allegedly involved in a multi-million-dollar fraud. An alliance of attorneys has charged that the SEC is attempting to bring shame on Coinbase and the cryptocurrency industry by asserting its dominion over the entire space. Along with that, Paul's group will criticize the SEC and its attorneys for allowing the firm's harmed attorney, Schick, and their lawyers to request the dismissal of a case against him without prejudice. Dr. David Schwartz, chief technologist at Ripple, had previously pointed up the SEC's illegal behavior in the DebtBox case, accusing them of dishonestly changing data to their advantage before the opposing party could respond. A number of leading cryptocurrency experts have noticed trends that support the notion that XRP could experience a price explosion comparable to the one that engulfed markets 5 years ago. A symmetrical triangle breakout might appear soon, marking the start of a likely recovery, following a lengthy period of consolidation marked by significant underperformance. According to recent research, momentum indicators and historical price patterns are indicating a rising optimistic sentiment. In the interest of the token that is presently struggling. After reaching its peak in 2013, XRP built a multi-year triangle that was very similar to the one it had previously made. Subsequently, a decline started. According to one market researcher, XRP was able to stay within its range due to its structure until 2017, when an unexpected upward resolution added 4 zeros to its price. Wednesday marks the end of XRP's monthly operation. The symmetrical triangle of the MACD is now the center of our focus. The previous time we were in a symmetric triangle, Ripple XRP was the catalyst for the MACD indicator to go above zero, which in turn caused a recovery and a parabolic advance. Going downhill in the current market upturn. A fresh symmetrical triangle has now ensnared the upside. But if we expect XRP to go up again, one of the most striking differences in this cycle is how long it takes to make the visually appealing design. The current form, according to a second observer, needs a last surrender wick to set the stage for pyrotechnics. Oddly enough, a huge downward wick was hinted to by the 2017 exuberance. Thereafter, the footage fades away completely. Do me a favor and subscribe to my channel to show your support. As for now, farewell.